welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Sean.
And we've survived Pizza Hut.
Yes, we did.
We did. We somehow did it.
This is audio proof that two people went to Pizza Hut in 2018.
And lived. I have already posted a picture of me holding up a breadstick sign. It's a proof of life picture. Much like a...
Like a hostage?
Like a hostage, yeah. I believe Rob Kelly said that.
Yeah, it was a very hostagey looking picture.
Well, see, this is the weird thing, because I think now, aren't Pizza Huts typically like inside a Taco Bell? You know what I mean? Those Pizza Hut, Taco Bell places.
Are they the same company?
They must be.
No,
remember there
was Taco Bell KFC.
There's also a Pizza Hut / something else.
And Long John Silver's what?
There's a Pizza Hut /
Wing
something
Street.
else. Oh, yeah, but
that's
are they
their,
together?
Yeah, that's their wing joint.
Oh. I always thought they were together with like a Taco Bell sometimes.
You know what? They might be.
Maybe not. I don't know. But this particular one happens to be the one that I used to go to when I was a kid, when I would get Book It coupons. I don't know if anybody remembers Book It, but you read a whole shit ton of books.
I'm certain that our audience definitely skews towards the Book It crowd.
I'm assuming. And so, like, when you were a kid, you would read a bunch of books, and your parents would have to sign off, and if you read a certain number, you'd get a certificate for a free personal pan pizza. And
as an 8-year-old,
it was the most exciting thing when you were like 7 or 8 years old. So you'd bring them, and my mom took me twice because she hated Pizza Hut. But it's the same Pizza Hut. So I remember we went there and probably sat in the same booth that we sat in when we went, because it's exactly the fucking same.
Oh, yeah. There is a certain kind of decor inside of a Pizza Hut that
has not changed.
It looks exactly like the one that I used to go to on French Road. Where the hell was that? I'm trying to think. Union, maybe? I'm trying to think in Cheektowaga. But there definitely was a Pizza Hut that we used to go to.
Right.
And it was basically the same thing. Like, it was the same, how do you describe the lighting?
Oh, it's so almost like a beer, like a shitty bar.
Yeah,
because they've got those antique-y looking lights that are like hanging on a chain over each table.
It's like a shitty bar / church.
Like a church basement?
Yeah. But they're using the kind of windows.
It's like a VFW.
Yeah. That's a good call. Yeah, it's definitely.
It's a little dark in there. The walls, ones here are brick, and the ones that are not brick are covered in wood paneling.
I've never seen a Pizza Hut that's like
they're not brightly lit
or just colored in a different way. Like, it's always
it looks dim.
You know what? It looks a lot. Yes, it definitely looks like a bar in the basement of a church.
Yeah, or like a union hall with that only old dudes go to.
Yeah,
a VFW.
Yeah. No,
somewhere that hasn't been updated since the 60s, usually.
That's so weird too, because Pizza Hut's been around for such a long time.
Yeah, and it's weird because I don't know if there's that many
standalone Pizza
Huts in the way they used to look. They had a very specific building structure.
Yeah.
And now a lot of them don't exist anymore. This one still does. And there's not a ton of them left. But they haven't updated it. They haven't done anything to update whatever's happening inside of this Pizza Hut. And of course, it is all staffed by 17-year-old bros. And I actually almost went up to the counter and asked if they were all high. And
won't tell.
No, I was going to say, are you guys high? And if the answer is no, I'm disappointed. Because you work at a fucking Pizza Hut and you're 17.
I would be like, oh, Jesus Christ. Fine, I'll go to my car and get some edibles for you.
Let's get you all high so you enjoy your shift. But yeah, it was weird. We went and you got your wings.
Yeah, I got wings for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. And we got a pepperoni pizza with that original crust, which is literally just nothing but butter and cheese.
Yeah.
It's just like somebody took butter and like made it into bread, sort of. and then put cheese on top of it. And like, that's what a Pizza Hut pizza is.
Yeah,
Their crust has always been delicious because it's literally just soaked in fat. It's delicious.
Yeah. That's
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Tastes exactly the same.
And they had a salad bar there.
I did not go to the salad bar.
I did not either, because I used to remember back in the day, my father would frequent the salad bar at a Pizza Hut, and he also got beer, draft beer.
Well, they used to have beer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Back in the day, my dad would get a beer, and he'd go to the salad bar, and he'd get himself some salad with chi-chi beans.
Yeah, you mean garbanzo beans?
Garbanzo beans. Yeah. If you're from Buffalo, you call them chi-chi beans.
Can I also point out one more thing? We were the only people in the entire sit-down part of the restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
There were plenty of people coming in taking out pizza.
Yeah, they're running out of there. It's like, I can't stand here.
Yeah, no, because it's a horrible nightmare.
I would be transported back to 1989, which, you know what? Not a bad thing.
You know what? I'll take it. Because not only this particular little area was always the Pizza Hut, and next to it used to be a Wendy's. And sometimes when we would come back from like choir trips and stuff, we would stop there.
What, at Wendy's or Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut.
Oh.
And you could go to either one because they were right next to each other. That Wendy's no longer exists.
Yeah, now it's like some burrito place.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is now. But we went.
Yeah.
We ate a pizza.
Yeah, we ate it. Well, we promised we were going to do it.
And we did it.
And we didn't do it immediately after.
This is the kind of content people want from this podcast.
Well, that's the thing. This is another very fresh episode because we are literally recording this, and I have to literally edit it right after we finish recording.
Yeah.
Because
we got to work on our schedule.
We are backed the fuck up. Well, it's always one of those things where we want to do it on the weekend, and then like we just get fucked on the weekend.
Well, because there's so much shit that we have to do, especially now that there's a lawn involved.
There is a lawn.
And so we've got to like mow it and shit, and I got to like...
We got to weed the garden. We got to wash the car in the yard.
We got to...
We had to go buy a grill. We got
to put that together.
Got to put the grill together.
Man. A lot of shit that we have to do. And plus, there's other stuff that I want to actually do. There's supposed to be this thing called the Taste of Colorado. And they have it every year. And it's like, you have all these local food places and you go and you eat food.
Yeah.
And we want to go, especially because they're going to have a 90s day where they've got Sugar Ray and Smash Mouth.
I think that's on...
it's on Monday. I don't know if we're going to do that one.
Yeah.
But all sorts of ridiculousness. I mean, it's free.
It is free.
I mean, shit, I would not pay anything to go see Sugar Ray or Smash Mouth. But if they were free, I was just kind of walking by because I was trying to find a hot dog, I'd watch it.
I think when I saw Sugar Ray back in 1999, or maybe 98, probably 98, I did not pay either. So I would like to keep that streak alive of not paying to see Sugar Ray.
Yeah, no one should ever pay to see Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray's not bad. I like Sugar Ray. Also, I did get to meet Mark McGrath, and he was very nice.
Was he shorter than expected?
No, he was about my height, maybe a little bit. Maybe he was there.
Sometimes he comes off like one of those guys who's like pissed off that he's not as tall as he wanted to be.
I didn't get that at all. He was very pleasant.
Okay.
He was one of the few cats that came in. He was wearing I think he was coming from like a funeral or something.
Oh God.
Oh no, because it was
coming from a funeral to do a podcast?
Or he was going to a funeral. I think it was.
Is there a funeral podcast? Is there like a podcast where like morticians talk about mortician stuff?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Oh man, what podcast is that?
There's that one girl that's there's a whole bunch of that stuff.
There is a woman who writes like Ask a Mortician stuff. Sometimes she'll do like a special post for like Jezebel and stuff. But
no, she's I forgot what her name is, like Caitlin Doty or something like that. But yeah,
she should have been a mortician.
Yeah, you'd be a good mortician,
right?
You'd be a really good mortician.
But not only that, but like
you get to make up dead bodies.
Not only that, it is a recession-proof industry.
Mm-hmm.
People are always going to die. So, the mortician is always going to have a job.
Just you sitting around and be like, yeah, people aren't dying these days.
Elon Musk fixed it. There's no more death. He tweeted about it till people stop dying.
Immortality via tweet. Whatever.
I mean, maybe I should have been a mortician.
What was I going to say, though?
It was about Sugar Ray?
Yeah, he was coming from God, I think it was it Weiland's funeral?
Oh, God, that's even worse.
Or was it somebody, maybe it was somebody else. I I think it might have been Weiland. Because it was Hollywood, so it was like, whatever.
Weiland died a while ago, though, didn't he?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. Scott Weiland, yeah, he died.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was before we were in LA, but maybe not.
Oh, no, he definitely died when we were in LA.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's just one of those guys that I think everybody expected to die, so I thought he was dead.
He died, and I think he performed at that place on. Look, we saw. I think it was before he died, but he was going to perform at that place on Redondo Beach or on the PCH, the St. Nick's or whatever it was called.
Yeah. Oh, St. Rock's.
St. Rock's. Yeah. So no, he's definitely. Yeah, but maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I did meet Mark McGrath, and he was very nice. I thought he was a very pleasant person, and he took a picture with me, which you can, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you can see. And it was, and I captioned it. I was very excited for my caption. I said, "All around the world, statues crumble for us."
Maybe you should just post it to the worst collection ever page.
Oh man.
Proof of Sugar Ray.
Proof of instead of proof of life, it's like proof of Sugar Ray. Proof of McGrath.
My pizza picture's better.
All we need is Mark McGrath going to a Pizza Hut.
You know what? I'd give anything to have a picture of Mark McGrath holding up a sad breadstick sign.
Just like, hey,
but I would put a black and white filter on.
If ever get a chance to be, if ever a chance that Mark McGrath finds himself lost in Parker, Colorado, we'll take the Pizza Hut. And we'll prove that he's alive. Holding up
he might not. I was going to say he might not be by the time we're done at the Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
In fairness, I'm surprised we walked out of there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Even though our server, very nice.
Oh, yeah. No,
nice kid.
Nothing wrong with the server. It's just saying.
Yeah, they were very nice.
You know what the thing
it's just the fact that it's fucking Pizza Hut in 2018.
You want to say I was disappointed, though, because the Pizza Hut that I used to go to, at least back in the late 80s, used to have arcade games.
Oh yeah, that one did too. They don't have them anymore because that's the first place I ever saw the tabletop Pac-Man.
Yeah, they definitely had tabletop.
That was at right there in the front.
Definitely a tabletop Pac-Man or a tabletop Miss Pac-Man.
Yes, and that place where people were waiting for pizza, like when you walked right in, that's where the arcade games used to be.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So they used to have like two big ones, and then over in the other corner was where that tabletop thing was.
Man,
it's not there anymore.
I miss the days of arcade games just being in places you go to.
I know, that was the best part because it would be like, oh my god, everybody's going to the Pizza Hut, and now we can go play some arcade games while our parents drink their pitcher of soda or whatever the fuck, or their beers. Not anymore.
I'm just trying to imagine families.
Oh man, I remember Pizza Hut used to be fucking hopping.
I know it was. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Shout out to Pizza Hut.
I guess.
If you guys want to sponsor this show, you can.
I was going to say they don't sponsor us, but maybe they should.
Well, Pizza Hut ain't got nothing else going on.
They have nothing to do.
They're a failing industry. They could sponsor a failing podcast.
Come on, they're better than Papa John, for fuck's sake.
I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I've eaten Papa John's.
I have never eaten a Papa John.
I think I've had at least twice, maybe 3 times, but not like we were like, I was sitting around being like, hey, Papa John sounds like a good idea. I was like, I've never actually willingly gone to a Papa John's.
Oh, no.
I think it was one of those things where somebody was like, we got Papa John's here, eat it.
People just threw a pizza at you.
Yeah, just one of those,
hit you in the face.
One of those like angry pizza choices that people make.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you live out here, you don't have, when you live in the West, and I count Colorado and LA in this as well, there's really not like decent pizza.
Yeah.
It's not like being in the East where you can just get fucking great pizza on every street corner.
That's the thing about Buffalo is
there's great pizza there.
There are some good pizza joints, and obviously good wing joints, but good pizza joints that you will uncover. And it's just the places that you're just like, oh, okay, this is where I grew up, and the pizza was pretty good.
Yeah.
But California, fucking forget. LA, forget it.
And Colorado's the same too. There's not a lot of good pizza.
They have a California pizza kitchen. It's like, you know what?
Yeah, fuck that.
It's like, fuck that. But you can't be saying gee.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, if you're on the East Coast, anything, just any corner.
Oh, yeah.
Has just a really fucking great pizza
When I went
place.
to New York for that podcast festival a couple years ago, I had just excellent pizza, and I felt so bad you not being there to share this with me because I was like, this is the only good pizza I'm ever going to eat in the past like 10 years.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well, shit. I mean, when we were in Boston, and I didn't go there enough. Pinocchio's. Pinocchio's in Cambridge, which is right in Harvard Square, because I am tangentially related to the guy that owns the place. Through marriage.
You are Italian.
Yes. No, but I mean, I'm seriously, it's like my aunt's husband's brother's pizza place.
Nice.
So, every time we used to go to Boston when I was a kid, we would get Pinocchio's and we'd get the Sicilian, and it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Boston, I would go there, but I never went there enough because I wasn't really in Harvard Square that much. But goddamn, is that pizza good?
It's very good.
It's so good.
Wasn't that like Ben Affleck's favorite pizza or something?
Yeah, he like put it over or something on like Letterman or Leno years and years ago.
Too bad he didn't put over Hi-Fi.
Oh shit! I wonder if Hi-Fi still exists, because you know what? That is
Hi-Fi ain't going nowhere.
Hi-Fi Pizza in Central Square.
If you want the worst pizza,
that's worse. Pizza Hut's better than Hi-Fi.
Pizza Hut's way better than Hi-Fi.
And that's fucking sad.
Question though, if Pizza Hut, Hi-Fi Pizza, because Hi-Fi Pizza basically is just cardboard covered in
tomato paste.
Tomato paste.
It's not even sauce. It's tomato paste, no seasoning, with like gross, the cheapest shredded mozzarella you can find thrown on top of it. However, when you are drunk in Central Square at 1 o'clock in the morning, that's the best fucking thing you would ever eat in your life.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, because it's just a stark, sad pizza place.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because it's the thing. If you ever actually sat in there and you say
I have sat in there.
You sat there and you actually eat in there. It's like, oh God, I made a bad choice.
Yeah. Have I ever been there sober?
I don't think you can go there sober.
No, I don't think you're allowed in if you're not.
I think you have to go to the field, and you have to go.
And I think that's exactly what we fucking did. Is we went to the field, and then we ended up there.
Because it's right by Improv Boston, is Improv Boston still in that spot?
Yeah, still in Cambridge.
Yeah,
or it's in Cambridge, but right by Central Square.
Right.
Yeah, because we would go. Because I used to write for Improv Boston. I used to be in a sketch troupe that was based at Improv Boston, and we would do some shows, and then we'd go to the field, which is right next door. And you'd get drunk, and then you'd walk over to Hi-Fi, and you'd eat the grossest thing you'd ever seen in your life, and that was your night.
Yeah.
And it was fucking great.
Shout out to Boston.
Shout out to Boston. Really Cambridge, but shout out.
Welcome to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess we should talk about our book for this week.
Sure.
We talked about pizza enough.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a break. We'll come back with our book for this week.
Hey there, my name's Nathaniel, and I'm here to tell you about an exciting new podcast.
What are you doing?
Oh, hey Liz, I'm just recording the podcast promo.
You're recording the promo for the Punch Like a Girl podcast?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, I'm one of the hosts. I have more podcast experience. What?
You're going to sit there and mansplain to people about a podcast focusing on graphic novels and trade collections with female protagonists?
Oh.
Yeah.
Can I at least tell them how it's available on iTunes and Stitcher and at punchlikeagirlpod.wordpress.com?
No.
Shoot. Alright, well hang on, I'll delete this. We'll try again.
That's not delete, that's the button for publish.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is The Spectacular Spider-Man, number 135 from February 1987. Fairly certain it's 1987. I don't have my Marvel wiki in front of me, but I am. There's the thing that says 1987, and on the cover so just to iterate, this is from the trade Spider-Man, the Death of Jean DeWolf, which I picked up from the library.
Mm-hmm.
I was very happy to pick this up, and I actually very much enjoyed reading this. So, but the Spectacular Spider-Man number 135 from February 1987. On the cover, we have Electro. He is giving Spider-Man, who is still in his black costume, the Von Erich claw, and he's saying, "I did it. I've beaten Spider-Man. Electro has finally won." And he's got a bunch of electricity, and one would think he's beating him with electricity, but we are not entirely sure. He could be beating him with the Von Erich claw. So
I think he's just crushing his skull.
he's crushing his
It
skull.
also says up here, is this part Z?
Part Z of
Z.
the 3-part saga.
Yeah. Or that's supposed to be a 2, but it really looks like a Z.
Yeah. Part Z.
Part Z.
Continuing the 3-part saga of the sinister Sin Eater.
Yeah.
So we are picking. So basically, to put this in context, because did you have any idea what was going on?
I mean, I got somewhat of a gist. Obviously, Gene DeWolf's already dead.
Mm-hmm.
Then Spider-Man is fighting Electro for whatever reason. And then the Sin Eater comes.
Well, basically what happened... Okay, so basically...
The Sin Eater apparently was banging Gene DeWolf.
We come to find out that they were banging. Basically what happened was the Sin Eater was... Because this is like maybe like 2 or so years after the original Sin Eater run, which Gene DeWolf, who was a police captain or something, she was murdered, as was a bunch of other folks of, there was a priest that was murdered, like a judge, and it was murdered by this guy, the Sin Eater, who was basically a police captain a police guy who, Stanley Carter, who used to be a SHIELD guy, and he volunteered in the 60s to take a bunch of drugs. And he supposedly was, the government, basically was like doing like a death stroke kind of thing, but he ended up not becoming like a death stroke. He just went nuts. And because what happened was he had a partner that was murdered, like on a case, and so he got into drinking, and then eventually went nuts and started, developed this Sin Eater persona. And in the story of the Sin Eater, they basically, like, Spider-Man works with this Stanley Carter, not knowing it was the Sin Eater until later on, and ends up being this whole thing. And then eventually Sin Eater goes to jail, but he is, he ends up being he's found insane, but then they take him to the loony bin. Loony bin. I'm an asshole.
Well, whatever the the Marvel Universe's version of Arkham?
Basically, I don't think there is one.
Yeah, but basically
there might be one.
Yeah.
So basically, he went to the mental hospital. He was there for a couple of years, and then he was being let out, even though he's not really cured. But the state,
no, he's not cured at all.
Oh, he's not cured at all. But basically, in the issue or so before this,
government's like cured enough to get out of here.
Yeah, the issue before it, the people are like, they're like, yeah, he's doing all right. He looks good. He looks good.
Yeah.
Government says he's good. Yeah,
hasn't eaten one sin since he got here.
Yeah. He's been sans sin. He's been eating low fat transgressions.
Doing good.
But he's been staying away from the sins.
Yeah. Sticking to his diet.
Sticking to his diet of non-sin cereal. He has not had any devilish eggs.
Nope, nothing.
Nothing sinful, nothing too decadent for him.
Nope.
So he is completely fine.
Yeah, get out.
And he is now get out. Yeah, exactly.
Get out.
Get out. Yeah. So so he's out walking the streets.
Yeah. You'll be better there.
It always reminds me of that joke that George Carlin has about it's like walking the streets. What does that mean? He's out walking the streets, and then so what happened was Spider-Man, finds out that he got let out, and Peter Parker's a piece of shit. Every time the more I read Spider-Man comics, the more I'm just like, this guy's a dick.
Oh yeah, Peter Parker's kind of a dick. But and we'll talk about it, but I think he's not as much of a dick as some other comic book characters.
No, he's not. No, not in terms of being a dick. Yeah, he's definitely.
We'll talk about. There's a part I want to talk about.
Oh, okay, good.
There, so,
but yeah, he's freaking out, and he's kind of lashing out and just being very aggressive. And so what happened is in this issue before this, though, Electro got out, and Electro's like, you know what? Or he's out walking the streets.
Everybody's out.
Everybody's walking the streets. And
Nothing else to do.
And Electro's like, you know what would be great is if I can be Electro and not get caught by Spider-Man. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to wear my stupid looking costume.
But I'm still going to use my powers.
But I'm still going to use my powers to rob jewelry stores and shit.
Right. And you're like, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because you're still doing the powers.
Yeah.
So I guess before he was, in the issue before this, there was a big fight.
And Spider-Man.
And Electro's got Spider-Man pretty much down.
Yeah. Spider-Man's got his ass.
He is smoking.
So the story.
He literally has smoke coming off of him.
Oh, yeah.
His body hurts. He feels like he's been sunburned, whatever.
Yeah.
All these people are watching him because he's.
I just want to point out sorry, I got gas. It's Pizza Hut. Spectacular. The story is called Synthesis, but S-I-N. Oh, Peter David, you love your puns.
Boo.
So Peter.
I was saying boo words.
So Spider-Man is laying on the ground here,
smoking, and he's at the corner of Park and 28th.
Yeah. Oh, you could do a walking tour, guys.
You could, because here it is. But all these people are just out, also walking the streets. We assume, just regular New Yorkers,
the angry New Yorkers.
They're pissed, and they're all surrounding him, just glaring at him as he lays on the ground.
Because a lot of them have a reason to. A lot of them, think Spider-Man is not like people. Some people like him, and then some people really don't like him.
Well, I mean, there's always the case to be made that these superheroes make the city worse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same argument that we make for Batman, that if he wasn't around, maybe all those fucking lunatics who come after him wouldn't be there either.
Yeah.
So they make these cities terrible.
I do like this crowd, though. You've got Rob Reiner as Meathead from All in the Family. You have Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, you also background. Have what's his name? He's a fashion designer.
Mr. J?
No. Oh my God, his name escapes me. Karl Lagerfeld.
What, this guy back here?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
No, that's the guy in the sunglasses and the turtleneck.
Oh, this guy.
That's
okay.
Karl
I thought you meant the guy in the guy in the black guy in the purple outfit.
No, I'm talking about
the entirely purple
the
suit
white
coat
guy,
and dress shirt.
The white guy with the white hair, the sunglasses, and the purple turtleneck.
Oh, that's right.
Karl Lagerfeld.
Yeah, Karl Lagerfeld is back there.
Yes.
Even you got Paul Heyman sitting up front.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's an all-star cast. So basically, they're surrounding Spider-Man. He just got his ass kicked by Electro.
And we find out that one of the reasons that he is in such bad shape is because he really couldn't give his all to this fight, because he found out that when he fought the Sin Eater before, he actually crippled him.
Yeah.
And he feels bad about that.
Yeah.
Which, this is what I want to say, is that Peter Parker is a huge dick.
Mm-hmm.
He's not as big of a dick as, say, Batman, because current Batman, really wouldn't give a fuck.
No.
He cripples people on a daily basis, and he's just like, well, you're not dead. I didn't murder you. And he just leaves.
The thing about Spider-Man, though, Spider-Man does have
a conscience.
Well, no,
conscience,
but he also has super strength.
Yes, that's true.
So he does have that responsibility to not fully use his strength. But I mean, in this case here, where he didn't full on punch a guy's face off.
Yeah, but Electro has powers.
Yeah, he has powers, and he's trying to hurt. He's trying to physically harm Spider-Man.
He's trying to hot dog him. He turns him into a hot dog.
Hot dogging?
Well, I mean, later on, he's pink as a hot dog.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So everybody's like, let's rip Spider-Man's mask off. I bet there's a reward for him. Let's find out who he is.
I like this one guy.
Everybody's fucking mad.
I like this one guy is like, reward will be canonized.
And Spider's like, yeah, I'll shove you in a cannon.
Yeah, he's like,
show you canonized.
I'll fuck you. I'll give you a cannon.
Yeah.
I'll put you in canon films.
You're like, that's not your best comeback, Spider-Man. But
no, it's not.
It's fine. And then this old woman's like, wait a second, he helps us, and fuck this guy. And then all of a sudden, Sin Eater, in his civilian identity, emerges from the crowd and is like, hey, leave him alone. And everybody recognizes him, and they're like, hey, mass murderer, what the fuck are you doing here? We're going to get you too, because you're a fucking lunatic. And then he pulls out a shotgun. And everybody's like, gun! And they run away.
He pulls out a shotgun and he's like, "I'll fucking kill you. You know I'm a murderer. I'll kill you.
I'll kill y'all.
I'll kill y'all." He's like stabby robot.
Spider-Man, yeah. It's like, oh, I'm gonna stab. Stab for Futurama.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man's like, first off, why is this guy helping me? And second, like, my spidey sense isn't tingling. What's going on? Did I get real fucked up? And that's when he finds out that the gun is just a toy. So the cops come. Sin Eater's like, get out of here, Spider-Man. Spider-Man leaves. The police do not immediately gun down Sin Eater, which is how you can tell this is in 1987 and not 2018.
Oh, yeah.
Because they would... Also, this guy's white. So he doesn't get immediately gunned down.
I know, this guy's like Reed Richards white.
Yeah, and he's got like a huge shotgun and cops don't shoot him. And so as the cops are like questioning everybody, Electro just like walks away. Apparently he was hanging out in the crowd.
Wait, that's him right here?
Is that Electro? Is that Electro?
No, that's just people just being like, we don't want to...
Are you sure? Can I see?
No, because Electro is...
He's got a green shirt on.
That's not him. It's just a dude.
Are you sure?
No, he's just got a jacket. Electro here's just got a jacket. He's got red hair.
That's Sin Eater, isn't it?
No, that's Electro.
No, isn't that Spider-Man remembering when he really fucked up Sin Eater?
Yeah, he went to Sin Eater's apartment.
Let me see this.
And he's like, yeah, I crippled him. And then he starts talking about when he started fighting Electro, and that's down here. And that's Electro in his civilian outfit.
Oh, you're right. It's not him. It's just some guy who really hates Spider-Man apparently wanted to just like start fighting.
Yeah.
And he's upset that he can't. So Spider-Man goes home and he has a fucking skylight that opens in his bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, what's that about?
It's got a toilet skylight.
That's kind of a fucked up place for skylight, right?
Well, I mean, you get some ventilation in there. Maybe, get this...
I mean, for one that opens... Because he, like, literally just drops down into the middle of the bathroom.
It is a weird spot for
It's a weird spot
it is,
for
admittedly, yes.
to drop down into your apartment. I mean, maybe it makes sense because you'd be like, I have to go to the bathroom and shut the door and disappear. So he takes his costume off and he's pink.
Yeah.
He has the skin of a hot dog.
Oh, he has the skin of a hot dog and the hair of a Chinese man.
Yes. Hulk Hogan. Watch the wrestling episode of Always Sunny if you want to get that reference.
Yeah, I get the reference.
So he gets in the shower and Mary Jane comes home. And Mary Jane, their relationship has never made sense to me. Because she's supposed to be this like smoking hot fashion model who's like into Peter for some reason.
Yeah, Peter's always been punching above his weight.
Way above.
And especially he's a very stunted man, like emotionally a lot of times. Especially like...
I mean, I get these ripped as shit.
Yeah, he is yoked.
But he kind of sucks, and he's supposed to be just like a goofy dork.
Yeah.
And yet he's dating the best model or something. I don't know. So she comes home and she's like, oh man, I'm going to sneak in the shower because that's the kind of wife I am. And then he gets all mad because she's like, oh my God, you're bright pink. Are you okay? And he's like, meh.
He's like, leave me alone.
He like flops on the couch like a toddler. He's having a fucking temper tantrum.
Yeah. And basically she's like, what happened? She does make a reference here where he's like,
oh yeah.
She's like, you go swinging off to act like some massive engine, and the next thing you come home, you're looking like something Paul Hogan tossed on the Barbie.
Right.
Because this is 1987.
Oh, that's right.
Guys, remember.
Don't forget Crocodile Dundee.
Guys, this is 1987. Don't fuck around here.
Everyone's going to drop Crocodile Dundee references that in 50 years are going to make no sense.
We are Paul Hogan as fuck. Let me tell you something.
What's Paul Hogan doing these days?
Living off that Crocodile Dundee money.
Yeah, good for him.
Let me tell you, man, 1987, there was more than one Hogan.
Oh yeah, there was.
Actually, we were at one point we were flush with Hogan.
We were peak Hogan.
Well at one point, like, I can't remember what year it was. What year the Hogan Family was a show?
Oh, that wasn't for a while.
That was around that time. Maybe
no, because it's more reality TV, and that didn't.
No. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Valerie Harper, and then she left the show, and then Sandy Duncan came on. And it was the Hogan Family.
I thought you meant the reality show with the actual Hogans.
Yeah, no. We're talking. Yeah, because we had the Hogan Family, and then we had Hulk Hogan, and then we have Paul Hogan. We were Hogan the fuck out.
We really were. I'm sure there were some hoagies in there.
Hoagies. Yeah, we were Hogan all over. Hot Hogan.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but man, the 80s were... Guys, ask your parents about the 80s. Ask your parents about the Hogan epidemic in the 80s.
The Hogan epidemic. It was an epidemic.
If I didn't name these shows at like the comic that we read, I would just name this the Hogan epidemic. So basically she's like,
Peter's just whining. He's like, meh, sin eater, meh, 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 meh. I'm red.
I feel remorseful, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So then
we're at the police station where I guess they have taken in the sin eater and they're like, hey man, this gun is fake. And this is where we see like the sin eater's evil self.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, he's imagining it.
Yeah, but he also like talks to this guy. But can we point out that this guy is dressed like a lucha guy, but a cheap one?
The Sin Eater's outfit.
This is you. Anyone could. You should do this cosplay.
But I'm not anywhere in any as good of shape as the Sin Eater.
Fuck that. It doesn't matter.
Look, the Sin Eater ain't too many sins. He went to Sin McDonald's.
He went to the Sin buffet.
He got a Sin Mac.
Just look like the Sin Eater if he spent too long in Vegas.
I'm the Sin Eater if you lived at the Rio buffet.
But I mean, like, no, it doesn't matter because this is what an easy fucking cosplay this is. This is literally a purple sweater, a belt, some panties, and some leggings, and then you have just like
panties. You just got pants.
Oh, but up there, they're...
Well, yeah, because it's the shadow.
Oh, I thought that they were like, just like the underwear over the tights.
Oh, no. He's got... This is what we're talking about. This is what we're working with.
Oh, okay, perfect. So then you just get some nice pink pants.
You get yourself a periwinkle, or was it a thistle?
Yeah, it's kind of like a dark lilac and some magenta pants, and then you just get those cheap ass knit gloves they sell at Target every fall in green.
Get yourself a green ski mask.
Get a green ski mask.
Look like Beachhead. From
and then you just get some green boots.
He's got cuffs on his boots. You see that?
I see that.
That's intense. How do you get those cuffed boots?
Well, they do sell them, but you don't have to have them. So,
I won't be an authentic Sin Eater then.
That's true. And then you just get a belt with some pouches, and you're the Sin Eater. I mean, this is a very easy costume. Less than $100.
I'm the Sin Eater.
You pull this off for less than $100.
Ooh, it could be the Sin Eater. Could have a bag that says sins.
Yes. I think you should actually just have a tray that says sins. Like a cafeteria tray, and so you have like a carton of milk, and it just says like sloth.
No, because then I had to walk around carrying that tray. I would rather have a bag.
What about a lunch bag full of
sins? But then I would just get a bunch of like burgers from McDonald's, just write sin on it.
Oh, what if you did a lunch box of sins?
I don't want a lunch box. I want to pay I need like a bag. I need like a.
I know, but.
Like a thing, like a big chip bag, like what's his face had in the House Guest.
Sinbad?
Sinbad had in House Guest.
I mean, if you get
we could get an economy bag of those chips.
Oh,
right?
yeah, we'll just put sins.
Just put sins on it.
Okay, I mean, as long as the only reason I'm saying lunchbox is because it would be automatically recognizable as a lunchbox. So then, if you put sins on it,
that would just be the lunch eater.
No, but if you put sins on the outside, people would be like, oh, I get it. There's sins inside.
But then you wouldn't be able to see, because I'd be carrying, I'd have to carry it like up higher. I'd have to find something that people could see and just be like, oh, you must be carrying a lunch box.
I just think you should just walk around like that. People will get it. There are a bunch of nerds around. Other nerds will get it.
It's actually not bad cosplay.
I think it's a very easy cosplay. It's one you should do.
I gotta get all those pieces.
Yeah, but we could get that.
Where can I get myself
Target
a green mask like that?
We can get all that shit at Target. I'm telling you.
Ooh, Target. Excuse me. One Sin Eater cosplay, please. Oh, right this way, sir.
Right this way, sir.
For all your Sin Eater cosplay needs, come to Target or Walmart.
Yeah. Fuck Walmart. Go to Target. So he's like, man, tell him, you want to kill all these people or whatever, and this Sin Eater is just trying to ignore his alter ego. Yeah,
basically he's like, I carry what you got this gun for. He's like, it's for protection. It's like, well, you can't walk around with a toy gun and make people think it's loaded, because then you're gonna get fucking. You might as well just whatever.
Or you could just move to an open carry state and just carry a regular, gun all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody can say shit.
And then for some reason, some guy, Scott Rosenberg, runs in.
Yeah, this part I didn't understand, because Scott Rosenberg runs in and he's like, I'm this guy's manager.
Yeah.
Not lawyer.
Yeah.
This guy needs a lawyer.
Oh, he needs a lawyer.
But this is his manager. And he's like, nobody can talk to my client. And I'm like, you're just a manager.
Yeah, actually, I don't understand how he gets this guy off when he walks in. He's like, either turn my charge loose. And he's like, but dude, can you just do that? Can you just walk in and just be like, I'm this person's manager?
Hey,
like,
you should be his fucking lawyer.
Like fucking, yeah. I'm trying to think like that doesn't work that way. I don't think that works that way.
I don't think so, but whatever. So he's like, come on, we'll get you out of here. He gets him out of here. He's like, man, we can make so much money off of you being a murderer.
Oh yeah. I'll be honest. He's maybe like, he's like 30 years too late for this.
Or too early?
Too early.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he would be the fucking, he would have so many shows right now.
He could have a podcast.
Oh, he'd have a podcast about him. He'd have a podcast by him.
Yeah.
Oh man, he would have so many Casper beds.
Oh my gosh, so many.
You would be eating so much HelloFresh right now.
Yeah.
Get your first meal free from Blue Apron with the code SIN.
I think there's actually a guy, I think it's in Japan, who murdered an exchange student and ate her.
Sounds about right.
And then he got off. Like he did his time, whatever, and now he's out.
Uh-huh.
And he like does documentaries and TV shows. Like I think he even did porn.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, diversify your portfolio.
Yeah, there's a lot of like this guy doing that. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember his name. I listened to My Favorite Murder about it. It was just like this really.
Speaking of which, we were watching real quick. There's this channel on YouTube called The Gaming Historian, which I've discovered.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And just real quick, it's awesome because there's a lot of really cool, like just video game tidbit things that I just think are very interesting.
Just like kind of the history of like how this game or that game came to be.
Yeah, or just just stuff like that. Like I've been that. There's another one called Classic Gaming Quarterly. That just stuff like that. I've just been like, I just need to watch this all the time. But,
yeah.
There was one about the history of Tetris and how it was created and how like eventually came to the States stuff. And holy fuck,
yeah,
that is first of all.
It's a wacky
It's
ass
a wicked story. It's a crazy story about the rights, about this company and that company and everything. But then at the end, it talks about all the people that worked on it. And like one of the guys, I don't know.
Russian guys.
Some Russian guy.
He wasn't like the guy that created it. He was like one of the government officials, I think.
One of the guys that worked on the thing he has a thing that says, it's like, well, so-and-so, okay, so you got this guy, that guy. And then it says this Russian guy moved to the United States and killed his family.
Yeah, and then killed himself. Family Annihilator.
Family Annihilator.
That is what they are called.
Yeah, just so think about that when you think about Tetris, think Family Annihilator.
And I think he was just one of the government officials or something. He wasn't the guy who programmed it.
He wasn't the main dude. The main dude's doing okay.
Yeah,
the main dude still has a family, I think.
Oh, yeah, no, he's doing fine. He just wanted to program a game. He's doing good.
He seemed like a really nice guy.
Yeah,
and I'm glad he turned out okay.
Yeah.
But somebody else involved...
I feel like it was one of the government officials or somebody who worked at the school or somehow this guy was involved in getting Tetris to the States or whatever. And this guy eventually killed his wife and child and then shot himself.
Holy fuck.
Family Annihilator.
How is that? How have I not seen that on Cracked yet?
Right?
I feel like that's the first I've ever heard of this. I'm like, holy shit!
What, like 15 family? There was a list somewhere. I think it was.
No. I'm not just with related to like
Tetris?
to like stories like crazy video game origins that you would never believe, or just things like things
how is that not a BuzzFeed listicle yet?
How's that not a movie? How is the story of Tetris not a fucking movie?
Because there's a lot of meetings. I think that's why. But I mean, shit. Look at The Social Network. If you can make that interesting, I mean, sort of. You can.
The story of Tetris is infinitely more interesting. Than
100%. The Social Network was just annoying. But it got Trent Reznor an Oscar. Let's never forget that.
It sure did.
Yep. Oscar winner Trent Reznor.
Oscar winner The Suicide Squad.
That's right.
Also Oscar winner Kobe Bryant. Remember?
Oh yeah, because of his like animated basketball thing or whatever. We live in a really fucked up world. Like a world I don't even understand. If you were gonna tell me that fucking Kobe Bryant would have an Oscar.
Oh, don't. There's a lot of things. If I told you, if I came from the future and I was like, Jennifer, in 1998, here are these things.
Even if you went back in time 2017 and said, hey,
Yeah, I know,
these
it was
things
like a
are going
year
to
ago.
happen in 2018, and be like, you are so full of shit. And then here we are. Here we fucking are.
So Spider-Man's having a bad dream about
Electro and the
Electro.
Sin Eater and
Yeah.
like not wanting to hurt him or whatever.
yeah, and then he's Mary Jane,
Mary Jane is like applying first aid to him as he's sleeping, but she's applying.
maybe he was applying it when he fell asleep.
Sure,
and then
but
he-
it's like Bactine, so it stings like a mother.
that's true.
So I can't
Yeah,
imagine.
you can't do surprise back team.
Right? It's not like you were just like, oh,
Well, she's a model. She probably doesn't know anything about first aid.
Yeah. Usually you need people to be awake to apply, or I mean, unless they're like in a coma. So he gets all pissy. He's mad. And then she's like, well, don't worry. He's like, oh shit, I can't sell the pictures because I don't want to see people. I don't want people to see Spider-Man getting his ass kicked. So, but Mary Jane's like, don't worry about it. I have a modeling gig that's going to pay our rent, and it's literally being a ready-to-wear model on like a Today Show.
Yeah.
That doesn't pay dick.
Well,
Just FYI.
apparently she's got this is the 80s. We're just throwing money around. Also, I want to point out their bed does not really have a. They have a really low to the bed, low
to the ground.
bed.
Maybe it's a
Yeah.
water bed. I don't know. Doesn't look like one. It is the 80s.
Yes, it is the 80s.
Those were things my parents had a water bed.
Yeah.
That was always weird.
So now we get a montage of
The Sin Eater trying to get work.
trying to get work, and of all places, he decides to go back to police station.
Right. He's like, I murdered a whole bunch of cops. Can I work for you? No.
He's like, I famously murdered a cop and like a bunch of other like a judge and a priest. Can I come work for you?
No.
And they're like, literally, they're just like, yeah, that's kind of stupid that you're doing this.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to turn you away. So he goes to like all these places. He gets turned down. He gets turned down from McDonald's.
He goes to Wells Fargo apparently because it says Wells Far.
Yeah, you know what? That's better off. Wells Fargo's terrible.
Wells Fargo. Yeah, and then he goes. Yeah, he goes in there and the woman's already like calling the cops.
Yeah.
Which I think is like, yeah, well, I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's shit. I mean, I don't know, man. If Charles Manson comes around,
He's dead now.
I know, but if Charles Manson came around and he was like, hey, Capitol Records job, can I be an A&R guy? It's like, no, you're Charles Manson.
Right.
I mean, even if he did his time and he was reformed.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, I know in Europe they have like right to be forgotten laws where like your search results will eventually like drop off of
Right.
Google and shit, but I don't think if you're that notorious that would even apply there.
Yeah. And this is a pretty notorious case in this book.
Right, he murdered a lot of people.
And it's
like,
not like- it's
not like, oh, I just killed some dude. Like, you killed a fucking cop, like a captain, and then you killed a judge?
And a priest.
Yeah.
A black priest.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and a bystander because he started firing into a crowd while fighting Spider-Man. Some guy fucking died.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people fucking met grisly ends
Yeah.
due to this guy.
Yeah.
But here he is, and he's trying to go to all these places, and he's going to he goes to like all these security.
I
He goes
think
to,
the key to getting a job if you're a mass murderer is to make sure nobody ever figures out who you are, and then you become a politician. Because that's what Ted Cruz did. Because as we know, he is the Zodiac.
oh, is this Ted Cruz origins?
This guy's too old to be Ted Cruz,
Oh,
but
that's
sure. And this guy seems more likable than Ted Cruz, actually.
The Sin Eater, more likable. just on a resume, more likable than Ted Cruz. Oh man, what have we come to?
Maybe that's what he should put on his resume. The Sin Eater, more likable than Ted Cruz.
I wear a great mask. He does go to a McDonald's too, and he's just he gets told off, and there's some kids.
So he goes home and he's...
Also, there's a woman here that looks like Jack Nicholson, but in rollers.
I don't know what's happening there. And the kid's crying. Is that your grandkid? I don't know.
That might be the image I used to promote this comic.
Oh, good.
Because
look at Jack Nicholson in rollers.
Look at a gender swap Jack Nicholson
Wearing rollers.
So he's in his house or in his apartment,
And he's just really fucking bummed because he can't make any money. And I get it. So Then who comes to the door but his manager / lawyer / guy? I don't know. And he's like, hey, man, I want to like get you on talk shows.
Yes.
And I'm assuming he wants him to write a book because he starts talking about like getting him a ghostwriter, but he never actually says like you should write a book.
Yeah.
But also
he wants him to tell his memoirs. He wants him to tell his story, whatever.
Yes. And this took me a second because at first I thought that Sin Eater was the only person who could hear what his alter ego is saying. But from what I can gather is he must be saying these things out loud.
I think he is ready. Yeah.
Because his alter ego will say something, and then the other character who is not the Sin Eater will respond as if he heard it. So I'm assuming he's also just saying these things out loud.
You mean Stan Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think he is, yeah.
But not all the time, because he didn't say all of this shit at the police station.
No. So yeah.
Where he was like, I'm going to start murdering.
So apparently...
He's like, well, I'm broke. All right, fine. I'll go on your stupid TV show.
But do they pay you to come on shows? Because I don't think that's how that goes when you go to like a morning show. Like in this, so the way that this is set, we're gonna get to this, but this show is. Oh, by the way, we didn't talk about this. Maybe we should save this for another episode about the Teen Titans movie we watched.
Oh yeah.
Which so it just reminded me because there's something in there
the Judas contract.
The Judas contract. There's some stuff. We'll have to earmark that. We'll talk about that another time. But because I just remembered,
it's on Hulu if you guys want to see it.
Yeah, but we'll talk.
So if you have Hulu, go watch it.
We'll talk about that next week. Because there's some stuff I want to. There's definitely some stuff that needs to be unpacked.
Well, I mean that comic book was fucked up. So so I don't know. Here's the thing: is you're not supposed to pay for interviews when you're a journalist. That's the whole thing. You're not supposed to pay for interviews. There's not supposed to be any sort of reciprocal thing. But if you're doing like a Today show of The View type of show, is that the same kind of thing? Especially if you have somebody on to promote something? Do you pay them? I have no idea.
Well, they want you to come on a show, but it's like, I mean, like, for instance... Like,
I don't know if
okay, like maybe like if you're a big name, like you'll... Like if I'm assuming that... entirely because they say 2020 wants to interview the Sin Eater.
That should be they shouldn't pay him anything for that because that's a journalism news show. Mm-hmm. But if you have a book and you're going to go on Conan O'Brien, do you get paid? And you're just writing.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I don't think a guest that goes on Conan.
You're James Patterson. You're going to go promote your new fiction book. Do you get paid? I don't know.
Or are you anybody?
Or if you're a comedian, you're Jackie Cation and you book Conan, do you get paid?
I should ask. I know people that can ask this.
Yeah, because I don't know that answer. Or is it kind of one of those, it's considered promotion so you don't technically get paid for it? I mean, if you're...
I know that as far as podcasting goes...
Nobody gets paid.
Guests are not getting paid unless if there's an arrangement, a host that, that wants to do that. Like if you want to pay your guests... Because that's what or a guest host or whatever, because I've had that before.
Sure.
Then yeah, I guess what you do, but I've never had.
But there's also no money in podcasting.
Right, but I'm saying in terms of like, if you're doing a show, you're not paying a guest to come on the show. I mean, you might you might give them something, but you're basically giving an opportunity to use use an audience to promote themselves or to share a story or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know.
Because that's the thing. It's like, why would they pay TJ Miller to go on fucking Jimmy Fallon and when he's basically just doing promotion for the emoji movie or whatever?
Yeah, he's getting paid to do. He's already
going. So Jimmy Fallon wouldn't pay him because he's already getting whatever money from the emoji movie.
And I don't think like they're paying the studio or anything like that.
Right,
I think
because isn't that like those promotional appearances? Aren't they in their contracts?
Yeah.
So it's already kind of worked into like the payment they're getting for doing the movie.
I'll say those. So it's like this once. I watched the entirety of the Larry Sanders Show.
Yes.
Not once can I recall, and maybe somebody wants to correct me on this, but not because we're going to recall where Rip Torn was like, "Oh, we've got to pay Angela Lansbury to appear on this show."
Yeah, because I don't think
or whatever do.
I don't think they pay them to appear,
unless if maybe they're an expert.
I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know. Because I don't think you shouldn't even be paying experts to appear in court type of thing. Some people do.
Right.
Right, but...
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know the answer. So he's going to go on a show. Apparently money is going to happen.
I guess.
And then Electro is eating sugar puffs.
Okay, this is Electro. Oh, so we cut to
This is probably why I thought it was the same guy, because he's now wearing a green shirt.
right. But so Electro. So a couple of days later, Electro is sitting at his house in his
Studio apartment.
in his hovel.
Studio apartment.
I think he's actually sharing a room with Guy Gardner.
You know what? That's exactly what this is. You know what? This is cleaner than Guy Gardner's.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? You're right. Guy Gardner.
This is before Guy moves in.
Guy moved in and it went to shit.
Yeah. I mean, this place is still garbage, but it's clean garbage.
Well, he kept his because he's got a nudie calendar in the background here. And he's sitting at a table. He's got his small TV. Sitting here, he's got his costume on his bed, which is right next to his kitchen table. So it's everything.
A studio.
It's a studio.
Hey, I lived in a studio for many years.
And he's eating what I would consider the breakfast of champions.
Oh yeah.
He has got a cup of them. Some assured is probably assuredly black coffee.
Oh, it has to be.
And he's got a bowl of sugar puffs and a plate of just plain donuts in front of him. So that is his. I wonder if he's burning it off with the electricity in his body.
Maybe he needs that sugar to like fuel him or something.
Maybe it's like the.
I will say though, I love a plain donut. The unsung hero of the donut world.
The plain donut.
I love a plain donut. I love a sour cream donut. I love an old fashioned like buttermilk donut.
Yeah, those
and then because I'm a 6-year-old child,
sprinkles.
A donut with sprinkles on top.
I'm a cruller guy.
Yeah, you're a fritter guy too.
I became a fritter guy, and I also like maple donuts, but those are too sweet sometimes.
Those are intense.
I
don't know how you eat those.
That's the thing. Lately, I've been like, I will try. You know what I did like though, is the orange cake or the cherry cake.
Oh yeah,
those are really good. There was that place, Donut Tea Hut in Burbank. That was it's a fantastic donut place.
Go to that place.
It's on Magnolia, so if you're hanging around Magnolia and you're going to all,
and
those
I think
shops,
it's 24/7.
24/7. They do have a nice selection of donuts.
Yeah,
and they do not sponsor it.
And it's kind of cool. It's like you just drive up and it's like a walk-up place, but you can see all their cool donuts in the window.
Yeah,
it's great.
Go look at the donuts.
So
Electro's sitting there watching his TV shows. Electro needs to be, a bigger deal, and he's kind of just muttering to himself. And
then isn't this where he finds out like the Sin Eater's going to come on or something?
Well, he's watching the show.
He's just watching the morning show.
He's watching the morning show, which apparently is
it's hosted by Regis, but that does not look like Regis.
Do they actually say Regis Philbin at any point?
I'm almost positive they do.
I think they do.
I think they do once, and they refer to him as Regis. But Regis Philbin is the host of the show. He does look like Peter Jennings. You are correct.
Well, it doesn't look anything at all like Regis.
No, he's a guy.
It's just a guy.
And so he's interviewing a designer who's like, hey, here's, what's hip for fall. This is just like ready to wear stuff. This is just like one step. This is catalog modeling, basically.
Yeah.
And Mary Jane's like, I'm a supermodel. I'm like, you're a catalog model.
Yeah.
Like catalog models, like shit. Like I could probably get a gig being a catalog model on like one of these shows because they just need, frumpy woman number 9 to model a cat shirt. And look at my watch, like it's interesting. And then they'd like, on a local morning show, 100%, because they just need like average Joes and Janes.
Yeah.
And so everybody, of course, is like losing their shit over Mary Jane. They're like, oh, look at that babe. I bet she's married. Oh, that's too bad. She's so hot. Even Electro's like, my dick is hard for her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Got my dick in my hand.
That's why I think Peter Parker really, if she's that hot, she shouldn't be with Peter.
Well, she is. I mean, it's Mary Jane. I mean, she's one of the most beautiful women in comics. She's strutting her stuff, and she's like, Peter must enjoy me doing this. He's so proud of me. I look like Christy Brinkley out here.
And he is in the audience being like, oh, now that my skin is not burnt to a crisp, my dick works again.
I do not have a burnt dick.
That would be awful. And he's like, so now I'm remembering what life is for.
Yeah.
It's for fucking my hot wife.
I do like these, this shot of the crowd here. So Peter's standing in the back, and then the people in front of him.
One guy's a smashed face like a Beavis.
Well, no, it's like I think it's his what? Yeah, well, this woman, it's a woman.
Oh, it's a woman? Well, she looks like
she's staring
Beavis
at her
from here.
husband because her husband's like, women. And he looks like, Eddie Pepitone or whatever. And,
yeah. And honestly.
Actually, he's Don Cherry.
From here, that woman who's angry looks like Beavis.
Yeah, so she's basically kind of staring at him like, how dare you enjoy these women?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then Electro's like, I'm hard. And then she's like, okay, well, and then Regis is like, holy Toledo. I'm
Wheat Thins.
Wheat Thins. Thank you for coming, woman.
And he's like, my next guest is the Sin Eater.
Yeah, the next guest, he's like, all right, so the next, he's basically, so he's like, and now for our next guest, folks, has been somewhat hush-hush for security reasons, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard about him, read about him, future author who's trying to make it back to society. Let's have a hand for the Sin Eater. Sergeant Stan Carter, alias the Sin Eater.
And then Electro's like, yeah, cool.
He's like, oh man, this is gonna be awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, did you enjoy all these fall clothes? Well, here's a murderer. Did you like that skirt? Here's a guy that murdered a woman with a shotgun.
It's kind of, this really is like a podcast because it'll like, especially My Favorite Murder, they'll be like, Stitch Fix is so great. You can get all these cool clothes. Just go to stitchfix.com/murder. Get 20% off your first order. And now let's talk about this guy who killed 40 people.
Pretty much.
It's a podcast.
This is the first ever comic podcast.
Yes, except it's just before podcasting, so it's on TV.
Yeah.
And then Peter is in the audience, and he gets pissed.
Well, I do like what real quick, I want to say, he comes out, and Regis is like, I'm sorry, holy Toledo, nobody applauded for you. And he's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I totally expected this, Regis.
Yeah, I killed all the people, Regis.
I killed people.
In fact, Regis, I may kill you. So Peter gets mad and he's like, hey, he said he wasn't going to do anything for profit when he saved me. Meh. So Peter, of course, puts on his Spider-Man outfit and interrupts this fucking interview.
Well, you're missing the best part of this interview.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where Regis goes, so Stan, there's no way to ask this, but what's it like being a mass murderer? Because
leave it to Regis to ask the hard-hitting question. Is it like my job? Like where I just what's your day like when you're committing murder?
Do you like wake up and go, I'm gonna murder? What's that like? Holy Toledo. I only have like 2 Regis jokes. I'm terrible.
I don't really know anything about Regis except his teeth are really white.
Also, he oh wait, was it Regis or was it, I think it was Regis. He did interviews at WrestleMania 7, and they had a Japanese team wrestling Demolition. And before they came out, he's like, okay, I'm going to interview the Japanese team. And he's like, okay, Toyota, Suzuki.
Oh my God, I was going to make that as like a joke. I was going to be like, what did he say, sushi?
Oh, no, they went that way.
Oh, well, no, never let it be said that wrestling was ever not racist.
I'm pretty sure there was a Regis original, so I'm surprised he didn't just go, so, it's like, so, Sin Eater, stab, knife, gun,
You know
blood.
what? Could you imagine like Vince McMahon being in the back and he's like, so Suzuki, Toyota. Vince McMahon must have laughed his fucking ass off.
Oh, he
split his pants. He
shit his
hard.
pants. He tricked his pants and tricked his legs into shitting themselves. Tricked his. What was the joke from there?
I don't know because it doesn't make any sense.
There's a joke on Camp WWE's like, I tricked my ass into I tricked my pants. Or what do you say? I tricked my own legs into shitting my pants or something.
And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. What? Well, you know what? I'm not even going to think about it. I just think that Vince McMahon just said that and they were like, you know what? Put it in the fucking thing.
he said that because it actually happened and they just recorded it.
What, that he tricked his own ass into shitting?
Yeah, he tricked his ass into shitting his pants.
Sure.
And he just walked out of there and just walked into the street.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just like somewhere in Connecticut, just walking around with shit pants.
A couple years ago, it was a year or two ago. There was a pic. Vince McMahon was driving one of his cars. He got into an accident, and there was a picture of him in like wherever it was, like an alley, and it was just Vince, but it wasn't like super awesome Vince. It was like Vince McMahon wearing like workout clothes and just kind of looking very drab. And he was walking across, like it was a bunch of pictures of him walking across like a parking lot. And I was like, oh, that looks like that grainy footage of Bigfoot. So anyways, but yeah, so basically Regis like, okay, well, my questions suck. Are you writing a book? And he's like, yeah, I'm writing a book. It's about killing Gene DeWolf.
Yeah.
And he's like,
and then Spider-Man shows up and he's like, I'm interrupting this interview.
And then
even though it's inappropriate, I could have just waited for you backstage, whatever. So now I'm going to make a scene, and this is Electro sees him on TV, and he's like, oh, I'm going to this fucking place because I'm going to go humiliate Spider-Man on TV.
And then he surfs the subway using the third rail that you're not supposed to touch.
He does. So he heads that way while Spider-Man like yells at Sin Eater, and this is where, it's revealed that Sin Eater was fucking Gene DeWolf.
Yeah, he's like, how dare you kill her? And he's like, well, we were lovers, whatever. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know what that was supposed to accomplish.
Sure. But then that's when Electro shows up.
Yes.
He's like, come on, Spider-Man, time for us to tangle on TV. And Spider-Man's like, oh no, I shouldn't do anything here because there's too many people in this studio audience, which honestly, the minute Spider-Man shows up, the studio audience should have been cleared out.
Yeah.
Should have been like, all right, people, get out of Studio 6A.
I would have left. I would have been like, oh, fuck.
Me too, because I'd be like, here's this asshole again.
It's like, this
time to go.
Like this is real life. It's like this is not a bit.
And so Spider-Man's like, okay, I got to do something so we can fight him. And then Sin Eater's like, haha, like, what does he say? Like, I'm gonna fight you or something.
No, he doesn't say anything.
No, right here. Not Sin Eater, Electro.
Basically, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything. I don't want to hurt anybody. I might kill somebody in the audience or whatever. And Electro's like, I knew it. You won't fight if you won't think you win. Your problem is you don't got the juice. And he
spits and like, he's made of battery acid?
Yeah, apparently he spits battery acid.
Is that what happens when you eat too many sugar puffs combined with donuts?
That's his breakfast coming up.
You get acid reflux, or you just get acid breath?
Because he pounded like a pot of coffee, a box of Sugar-O's, and a plate
full of donuts.
A plate full of donuts, and he's like,
and hey, so now
here's some acid reflux.
His saliva is basically acid now.
It's pretty much.
If that works, I'm gonna start doing that. Because having acid saliva might come in handy.
Oh, nice.
You never know. Might need to spit on a pair of handcuffs or something. You never know.
Might do spit through a chain link fence.
And it just very slowly.
If I want to take a shortcut, just like
that spitting dinosaur in Jurassic Park. But like a very slow version because I gotta make sure.
You don't have as much goo in you.
Exactly. Could you imagine me trying to cut a me-size hole in a fence, just using my own saliva, just two, and then it just slowly melts, and people are like, "Why don't you just climb over it? It would be faster."
People just be climbing over the fence while you're just like,
and I'm just waiting. I'm just standing there waiting for this thing to like.
Can somebody give me some water? Can somebody give me something to drink?
I'm really dry, guys. Anybody got some water?
Whatever, I'll drink whatever you guys got.
Yeah, you know what? Mr. Pibb is fine.
Mr. Pibb, man. Mr. Pibb walking by.
Give me the power of acid saliva.
Oh, there you go. That's a commercial for Mr. Pibb. I've never seen a commercial for Mr. Pibb, but that would be it.
I know. I'm really good at messaging.
Yeah.
This is the message Mr. Pibb wants to cultivate.
We only want to reach out to women who have acid spit that want to break through fences.
Yeah. That's a really big market. It's niche, but it's, bigger than people expect.
That's the same market that My Favorite Murder is trying to reach.
Oh, yeah.
Acid spitting women.
Dude, if I could spit acid, that's freaking awesome.
For all you acid spitters out there, get yourself some Blue Apron. Get 20% off your first order Blue Apron using the code SIN.
Or spittle.
Spit. Acid spit, all one word.
Acid spit, all one word.
Oh my God.
Sign up for your free Stitch Fix box today.
Don't spit on it when it arrives.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how this book ends.
Yep.
That's how this book ends with somebody with Electro going onto the set of Regis and Kathy Lee. Not really Kathy Lee, but going onto the set of Regis in the morning and spitting on his set.
Yep. Also, can we just say that I'm kind of sad we didn't read the next issue?
Oh, why?
Because look at the cover.
Well, I read the next issue.
Yeah, but the cover is just the Sin Eater holding a shotgun to a child's head.
Well, I guess what's the question is, would you want to read the next issue of this book?
Well, with that cover, yes.
Also, I want to point out, just because since I'm looking at it, the first page of the issue coming up,
the Daily Bugle.
The Daily Bugle is a picture. Somebody took a picture of the last panel we see here of Electro walking away
after he spit
and having a hearty laugh while Spider-Man stands there sad, and Mary Jane's in the background for some reason. It's kind of funny.
And it just says Spider-Man coward.
Yeah. Well, this was written by J. Jonah Jameson. So. Actually, that was not written by him, but he did write an editorial to support it. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But that's it for this book. And you said you would read the next issue of this.
Sure.
I have already read it, and it's kind of a meh ending.
Yeah.
I mean, it ends pretty definitively, the story arc of the Sin Eater. I don't know if he's come back or not. I'm doubting he has because, he's just, not really a villain. I mean, unless he was resurrected or something, but
right.
But that's the story. That's Spectacular Spider-Man number 135 from February 1987. That's it for this week's episode. Thank you for listening, folks.
Yeah.
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Angry Hero Sean, SHAWN. It's how you spell Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield. Find us on Facebook, Worst Collection Ever. Email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
Yes, and of course, drop us a rating wherever you get this podcast, on Apple Podcasts or whatever it is you get. Give us 5 stars, give us a good rating. We would really appreciate it. And I think I don't know what we'll do next week. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
We never tease what we do next week because we literally know.
We never know.
We never know. I have been reading more of those Super Sons though too.
Oh,
so maybe I'll have to talk about that next week too. So.
All right.
So much good stuff, guys. So thanks for listening, folks, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.